You standing at the door, now I'm falling to the floor. You look even better than you did before. I'm staring at my feet, wondering about the blue. There's always been a while, but now I know you're broken. You're just a little things I've been feeling. There's a little things I've been seeing. There's a little things got me almost shaking my face, and I know I'm not doing like you promised to me.
This is my favorite Nelly Furtado song of all time. It takes me back to 1819, living in Conyers, just got to go to high school, moved out for 9 months, was in the Brentwood housing division right across from where I used to live in high school, but a little further from where I was living at the moment. So I moved out as a babysitter for some Forex traders and just a babysitter for their son DJ, along with my friends Isaiah and Nate, and Nate, Isaiah, and myself. So takes me right back there, like the beginning of this wonderful journey, going back that far to when like you didn't have the effects so obvious of the damage, and just obviously the best time of your life. Like, you're still in the best time of your life. You've never given that up. You're still that same person. You've just experienced so much. You know, you've been bruised, man. You've been battered. You know, you've been real beaten and kicked and spit on, man. Like, you had to deal with a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You had to just, like, and there's nothing different from that story in yours, in anyone's story. So there's no complaining. I'm just saying, like, I'm not going into detail right now about all the stuff that really had to go through. And you might not have went through all that because you would have knocked a nigga in his mouth by then. That's what I'm saying. Like, I put up with way more than I really should have. And so have you. You put up with way more than you should have. You should have been knocked these niggas down. And you're like, Chad, that's why I'm on probation right now. And I'm like, so you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're either gonna be, you know, a wimp or incarcerated with the pimps. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, can't wear a pimp suit in jail, homeboy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, Your Majesty. Right? You know what I'm saying? So, like, Taylor Swift make a song, make an album with Timberland and Pharrell. Taylor Swift, you should really have Kanye West produce your album. Real talk. Kanye West owe you some fire beats. Kanye, I want an album worth of beats. He'll do it. That'll give him so much clout. He'll love to do that. I don't care what you say about me, because Taylor Swift just asked for a whole album. Kind of thing. If she can forgive me, then you can go to hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he'll be snapping. Like yeah, like, Taylor Swift, man, give it to your boy Kanye, man. Like, get some beats from him. Kanye owe you a lot of fire beats. Like, after what he did to you, you should get the treatment that Common got, to where Common was the first artist to hear Kanye's new beats, and Common would get first dibs. After that, Kanye would keep it for himself if he wanted it. Just like I Wonder, Common turned down I Wonder. I wonder why, Common. You know what I'm saying? But Kanye killed it. Kanye needed that. That was Kanye's beat. That was his. But that's one of my favorite Kanye songs. Find your dreams come true. That song helped me so much. It was just like, go do it. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Kanye, for that song. It's fresh out of high school. You don't understand. When you dropped Graduation, I was graduating high school. So many people were, of course. That's your genius. College dropout. Dropped in a year where someone was dropping out of college. Late registration. Dropped in a year where someone was registering late. Graduation. Dropped in a year where someone graduated somewhere. 808s and Heartbreaks. Dropped in a year where someone went through heartbreaks and needed some music. My beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy. My dark, twisted, beautiful fantasy. My twisted fantasy. How about that? Kanye, go screw yourself for that title. My beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy. Darkness, everybody, darkness. That's one of my favorite Kanye albums. I would have to group up all of Kanye's like first 5 albums all the way up to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. That's just one album, one entire 5 album classic saga. And I only say it like that because I did not sit down and listen to the other ones. I was totally cool with what I had at that moment. I'm cool with this. Thank you, Kanye. And then I'll find out the new songs as they come and stuff. But Follow God, when I found out about that, I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I love you, Kanye, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not crazy. You're Kanye West, bro. Fuck what everybody thinks about you, bro. You're Kanye West. You had a baby with Kardashian. You made it, bro. Your kids are good. Mom tripping. It's all good. Your kids are gonna be billionaires. Your kids good. It's all good. They tripping. So they do. She just wanted a baby. You were the best that she could find. Don't ever let her tell you different. Who's bigger than Kanye West? Just go about your business, bro. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? The reason she's famous and the reason you're famous because of you. She's famous because her mom's friend got brutally murdered by her dad's friend, which was her godfather. Then she's particularly famous herself for you guys. As a matter of fact, I was the one that said I loved you first. It was about 8 months ago. Right? Oh, did I say something wrong? No. I can't answer that. Can't just vindicate yourself of all charges, chat. You know? Vindicate. Probably not the right word. Vindicate yourself. So, I don't even want to try to think about the word. Extrapolate. Look for the extrapolation. Hey, you don't even know what that word means. I barely know what that word means. It means like to get out of the jungle. I was extrapolated from the jungle. How'd you make it out of the jungle, Chad? Extrapolation. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Real talk. I hooked it right here. Just go. You know what I'm saying? I was like, bye. But not really, because I was watching out for trees. I'm like, hey, throw it to the right. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. So we out here, man. Like, it's the one thing I wanted to say before I started recording. It was like, I'm really enjoying my life. Like, I feel real good. I'm in a real good headspace. And I'm just really at peace with the fact that I'll never be 100% totally at peace. And it's just like, you know, that feels good. Like, when you can get to that point where you can say, hey, look, man, I'm 100% at peace with the fact that I'll never be 100% at peace with anything. Hey, we've made it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't fuck with me. Like, real talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing to be done about that. I've made it, bro. I have arrived. Real talk. I am here. You know? Real talk. And I brought sponsor with me. I'm gonna do that voice in a movie where you get me really mad. I'm just gonna start talking like a cartoon character. You know? Real talk. You know? There's a fat guy inside of us all. It's like a deep voice Pennywise a little bit. It's just like a joke. It just comes off like a punchline. Like I can't get too many words out like that. Like there's only a certain amount of things I can say before I start laughing. So it really got to be like one of the last things that I say. I have to say a bunch of stuff like this, and then I just tell you to get out of my room already. You know, and it's just like, you know, just something like that. Like I don't know, just but that voice is hard because that's like just a little spurt. You get a few words out, a phrase. You can get a phrase. You know, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You know, just like you just one liners kind of thing. Hit them with a one liner in that voice and laugh in their face. You know, or like I could just say something funny regular and then you know what I'm saying? You know, something like that, bro. But I'm feeling really good, man, and you gotta understand. I worked hard to get to this point of just like how do you feel good and you broke his, you know, because who cares about money? You know what I'm saying? Nah, bro. Like, uh, pretty soon I'm gonna come back and do a segment talking about the forex. You know, that's originally what I wanted to talk about, but then I had the idea about the film, the VR film, and I was like, "Do you want to talk about that, bro?" It's like, "Yeah, bro, you should." Just because, like, you can't be selfish with this kind of stuff. Just because, bro, you could die and then not even be mentioned in the conversation when this happens. So just say, like, that's what I mean. Like, that's why I get to where I'm at in life and where I want to go, because I don't just think about myself and how I can benefit from my idea or this information I'm learning, or all of these things are really gifts from God. God has granted me such a privileged mind. I just want to share it with, you know, the future, so I can get my spot in the history books for being, an important contributor to the future, in any way that I can. So with these ideas that I have, I should just say them. So it's on record that I had them first and went on record with them first. And when someone goes along and makes those ideas with or without my vision for it, you'll be able to see it. Like, I saw that coming. At least, yeah, I saw that coming, bro. So when it comes out, if I'm still alive and I wasn't able to make it myself, I'm not mad. I'm like, yo, it came out, bro. Clout, watch this video. I called it. You know what I'm saying? I've been called that. Like, I created that. Like, how much of that is my idea? Like, that's what you're gonna be able to see. Like, whether they knew about my version of it or not, how much of what I put in mind was in theirs. That's how you can see it. Like, whatever they made, I saw it in the vision. Then put the video out, like, mapped it out, how it was, what the significance of that stuff was, and everything. Really, like, put the cameras and all in the headset and everything about it. 360. It's an entirely different genre of film. It's an entirely different camera. So I'm gonna go ahead and start just making up other ideas for cameras and just start doing that. So I'm known as the camera guy. I'm like the camera Steve Jobs, and really creating my own cameras. So create my own cameras and I'll be good. Just create my own cameras. Create the vision for it. And we're gonna come back later and talk about the forex trading. So we can talk about the other part of this. Is like, okay, I gave you the ideas I have, right? Okay, so let's just say, for example, these are just my ideas. I'm going to work on them and make them myself. How do I fund it? Boom, I got the idea. How do I fund it? This is a very expensive idea. How are you going to fund this, Chad? We're going to come back. Pardon me. Sorry. Tobacco dip. We're going to come back and talk about the Forex trading, the Forex strategy, and we'll be good from there. That's how we're going to fund it. Everything's gonna work out. It's like way before I learned about Forex, it was like never worry about the funding, never worry about the how. The how is God's job. The why do you want it to happen is your job. Why? Why is all you need to focus on. Why do you want this to happen? Why? That will push you forward. How holds you back. How, HOWHOLD, hold you back. How to hold you back. Focus on the how. How is God's job. The how is God's job. Do your job and focus on why you want it to happen in the first place. That's all you need to worry about. And I knew that. And eventually, I became financially literate and learned how to read a financial chart. And then I just got better and better and better at it. And then having to increase your discipline and the psychology of it. It's one thing to know how to read the chart, it's another thing to only stick to when the chart gives you the signal. Sticking to the chart, reading the chart, seeing what it's going to do, and actually following along with what it's going to do are two different things. So we're going to come back later and talk about that. Thank you all for watching. Oh, yeah, thank you all.